Did you know that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, part one of this two-part saga of Spider-Man, was released into theaters December 14th, 2018, meaning as of February 2026, it has been over 7 years since the first part to get its sequel. Now, part of this is due to the strike that a lot of those filmmakers went under, causing a lot of pushback and delays in the schedule. Now, we're almost coming up on 10 years, and we still need the second part, the conclusion to this story that, again, we have been waiting over 7 years to get concluded. It almost makes me wish they only would release the first part if the second one was already in development, if not already finished, so that they could just release one year, and then the following year, or maybe two, then the second one is up. Because the second one's already done, or at least done enough to where all you need is special effects. You don't need the voice actors. You don't need any of that stuff. But because of the strike, it did push a lot of things back. Now, there are quite a few things that we can point at GTA 6 that have been said to have come out, but never have GTA 6. And there are some things that will continue to come out, no matter if we want them to stop coming out. Call of Duty, or Gears of War, or Halo, or I can't think of anything. And Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 is now called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's still Part 2 of Into the Spider-Verse. After being removed from the release calendar in 2023, when it was originally going to be pushed back because of the strike, it is now scheduled to hit theaters now June 18th, 2027. I don't know why that shit would be back in time. I would have already had my shit here now. Holy moly. Production, let's get on to the reasons for these delays. Now, again, I told you strike is one of them. One of the big major ones, in fact. But there were some production challenges as well. The film, initially set for March 2024, was pulled from the schedule due to the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike, which halted voice recording. And, in the animated, you can't really just, change the actors and recast because they just don't sound the same at all. So it's beyond distracting, one. And that's about it. Distracting. And also does not help. I mean, I know this is the Spider-Verse, but that doesn't mean people just got their voices swapped. Now, producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller explained the delay was necessary to maintain the franchise's high visual standards and avoid a rush production. Which I get, but, it's been over 7 years, so, it's kind of start picking up. I don't know. Strategic rescheduling. Yes, this was a strategy. They knew. They kind of probably did, most certainly. Recent shifts to June 2027, yeah, I said that right, were made to capitalize on the summer break window for school-age audiences. Yes, because, as we know, Spider-Man is only for kids and not just adults. Now, I get why they did it, because you're going to get even more people in total coming in if you got kids and adults coming in, and teens coming in, and babies coming in. Because, 6-year-olds want to watch it, as well as infants that just came out of the womb. They've probably been awaiting this shit for quite a few years themselves, and some months. What we do know about the movie, it serves as a direct continuation of the cliffhanger. And that's another thing. Why did part 1 have to be a cliffhanger? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because it's getting you hyped for the next one. But, I feel like this was a little problem. Because now we got people waiting for it, but it isn't out nor developed. And again, not that it was not developed at all. The voice actors didn't want to voice act because they felt like they were getting paid fucking shamoogles. Fucking nothing. Fucking pennies and condoms out here. They didn't feel like they were getting just pay for what they were doing. And you can't really do a live or an animated film with voice actors if voice actors leave because it's just going to be a black and white silent film. But maybe in that Spider-Man, it'd probably be less black and white and very neon with absolute silence. That would be kind of surreal. I kind of need to try and watch that while high now. I don't do drugs. Described as a massive finale, the film aims to conclude Miles Morales' story arc with a scale comparable to Avengers Endgame, which is why we're going to get Avengers Doomsday before Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Part 2. I see why they called it Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's a lot quicker and easier to say than Into the Spider-Verse Part 2. It's kind of, but to backtrack on that, now years and years go on. You got kids being like, which comes first, Into the Spider-Verse or Beyond the Spider-Verse? Well, obviously Into, because it's like getting into the... Getting into the Spider-Verse, You can't go beyond if you haven't gone in. You know what I'm saying? Guys, that was like a sexual joke. Did that hit? I don't think it hit. I don't think it hit at all. I should probably cut this out. Now again, June 18, 2027 is allegedly when it's going to be released, part 2. I think I did this and it looks like I was only holding up one finger. It's 2. After several date changes, and it says in this source that it may be moving up a week from late June for better summer positioning. I guess that makes sense. But still, it's a lot of movement for a cliffhanger in part 1. Because it's not even like I hate this movie, right? I'm excited too. I'm a fan. I love the first one. I saw that shit 2 times. And now I might have to see it a 3rd time because of how far it keeps on moving back. Because I'm one of those people where, say part 1 of something happens, and they say they're releasing part 2 in a year. When that year hits, when it's going to be coming out, I rewatch the movie so I'm freshly updated on everything, so I can get all the little clues, the Easter eggs, maybe some stuff that was directly in the first one that wasn't focused on, gets its little development, but I can get that fresh from scratch, whereas other people, they'll watch a year ago and they'll kind of forget about what had happened. Just a little bit, the tiny things, And so I'm one of those people. So when I'm rewatching that shit 3 times in a row, it's a little redonkulous, if I do say. And I don't use that word lightly. I don't be spouting nonsense all the time. I mean, sometimes I do. A lot of times I do. More than not, I do. But this time, I'm not. Did that make sense? That felt overly complicated to say I don't talk about shit while I talk about shit. I forgot what I was talking about. And talked about what made this delay happen. And when it was released and when it is going to be now, hopefully, God willing, let's talk about more of the strike. Because I've just been calling it the strike and been kind of avoiding talking about it. Not because it's something bad, but because I kind of forgot. Because I was spouting nonsense. The strike was a historic 118-day labor dispute, July 14th to November 9th, 2023, where 160,000 actors, represented by SAG-AFTRA, halted work against Hollywood studios / streamers. AMPTP. Interesting. The union demanded higher pay, increased streaming residuals, and, critically, regulations against using AI to replicate voice actors' voices and likeness, resulting in a new contract. Because I also made a video about AI, and it is scary how you can actually make someone say something they never said, but it's actually their voice. We're getting scared. We're in a scary time. We're getting a little close to Terminator Judgment Day. I, for one, not trying to get killed by Skynet. But, who am I but flesh? I don't really get a say in much when the AI takes over. The strike lasted quite a while, making it the longest actors' strike in Hollywood history, which is kind of interesting. A little sad, because, you only go on strike to prove a point that you were trying to make, but you can't make alone. So you need a big collage, a group of people to agree and have the same ideas as you to try and push something to actually change, because talking one-on-one isn't working. The dispute centered, I already talked about that. Let's not reiterate, Wyatt. A major sticking point was the demand for consent and compensation protocols for digital replicas, scanning actors for AI use. The strike, alongside the 2023 Writers Guild of America, WGA strike, effectively shut down most film and television productions in the U.S. and some abroad. The tentative agreement was reached on November 8, 2023, and raffled on December 5th, that's the day after my birthday, 2023, which included increased minimum pay and a new streaming bonus structure and protections regarding AI, which I feel like we sure already knew that was going to happen, and sure already prepared for the AI to be a problem. Sure already set some rules, but they didn't want to. They only did it because they were pushed, which is why some strikes are good, with good intentions and good reasons. You can't just be striking willy-nilly. I'm not saying burn down churches or anything crazy like that. But there are some times where things like this can actually get some good things done. Some things that you can't just ask and hope to get done. Some things take longer, but that means potentially that some good things will come from it afterwards, one could hope. Solidarity. It was the first time since 1960 that both actors and writers were on strike simultaneously. Breaking new ground here. Well, new. Shit did happen in 1960. It's been quite a few years and some loose change since that, but because it has happened, it's just been so long. Which, again, is why it's kind of sad. Well, not kind of, it is sad. That it has to get brought up anyway. You'd think you'd be paid your just dues, but big companies are still trying to penny pinch. Unfortunate. And don't get me started on GTA 6. That has been said to be not in development for quite a while, but now finally is in development. Getting delayed, but in development, which is more than you could say for some people. I mean, my dad played GTA 5 when it first came out. He's like 40. They're just now talking about making a GTA 6, and they're still pushing it back. We're all going to be in the nursing home when it comes out. Don't lie. Don't lie. We're all going to be in the nursing home playing that bitch, because that's how long it's going to take. But that's, let's not get into that. It's at least on its way, whereas this didn't seem like it was ever going to come because of the strike, but luckily the strike concluded, so we were able to continue, and which is why it's getting made now, and it will be released soon. But it did take quite a while to get there. Again, most of that was due to the strike, but in fairness, that strike was needed to make the actors, voice actors, feel like they're worth a damn, to give a damn. You know, like, fair. I just wanted to talk about that because I was thinking about it recently and I was like, why? Why is it taking so long? I remember watching the first one in theaters and then watching again when I was home. Not the same day, but like when they were saying it was coming out, and then the delays happened. So I figured I'd Google this and let y'all know because it will be coming. Hold on, let me say the date again in case people just skipped and just wanted to get to the end. I say people, it's person because I'm the only one who watches my shit. June 18th, 2027. Be on the lookout. Also, while you're there, give this video a share. Like this video if you liked, and subscribe if you want to be updated on my recent content. I do skits, I do music, I do videos, I do news, and maybe some more stuff. Oh, and I'm starting to post some gaming content on this channel too. I'm kind of putting it alongside POV skits that I do, especially if it feels like it fits that kind of stuff I post on in that series, but later on I may just make it its own series so that it's not all jumbled together, you know, because I know some people would rather it be separate than it be a giant collage. I talked about this type of problem with my recent post, unless I'm posting this video very later on. Call of Duty and Activision. So, there's that.